to start. Good morning, everyone. I am Manik Sakke, Dean of Lumini Buddhist University. Would like to welcome you all to this talk program, lecture series program. Venerable monks and nuns, respected Vice Chancellor of Lumini Buddhist University, Professor Dr. Subandal Vajracharya, respected ICCR Chair, Professor Dr. Bimlendra Kumar, and all present here. I would like to extend a warm welcome from the birthplace of the Buddha, Lumbini. In the beginning, I would like to tell a brief description of this program. All of you know that last year, Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, came to Lumbini to visit birthplace of the Buddha. At that time, we had made a MOU, and MOU had been made in between Lumbini Buddhist University and ICCR. Based on that MOU, ICC chair is established in Lumbini Buddhist University. Professor Dr. Bimlendra Kumar is selected for that chair. Now he is in Lumbini Buddhist University, and he has been contributing in enhancing Buddha's teachings or Buddhist activities in Lumbini Buddhist University. Today we are going to conduct talk program in collaboration with ICCR, Indian Council for Cultural Relations. Before starting our program, according to the system of Lumbini Buddhist University, triple homage to triple gem, triple Trisarna Gamana, or 5 precepts are offered. In order to offer 5 precepts, I would like to request Venerable Bajira.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Sadhu, sadhu. So now we will go to triple gems for refuse, and we will take 5 precepts. So may all of you pronounce Namo Tassa 3 times.
Okay. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddham saranam gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammam saranam gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sangham saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dvitiyampi buddham saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dvitiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dvitiyampi sangham saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami.
Sarana gamanang paripunnang.
Mante.
Paṭiccasamuppāda veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Paṭiccasamuppāda veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Adinādana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinādana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Kāmesu miccācara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Kamesu mitsyatsara veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Musāvāda veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musāvāda veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Surameraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Suramero majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Tisaranena saddhing panchasilang dhammang sadhukang surakhitang katva appamadena sampadetha.
Sadhu, sadhu,
Sadhu,
sadhu.
sadhu.
Thank you very much, Venerable Vajira, for offering Tisarna Gamana and 5 precepts. And I have already informed you that our Vice Chancellor of Lumini Buddhist University is participating in this program for inspiring and enlightening us. So I would like to request him to deliver a few words for enlightening us.
Okay, thank you very much, Manik sir, the Dean of Lumini Buddhist University. And thank you very much, Professor Bhimarendra Kumar for online, it's connected online in this very auspicious program. And this class, Professor Bhimarendra Kumar, as you know that he is the professor from India under ICCR Ambedkar Chair. And he will be with us for 1 year, and possibly, you know, we may have the further extension that is about the future thing. We don't know what will happen after 1 year. But in this 1 year, he will be delivering the lecture on Abhidhamma, that we use, how can we use the Abhidhamma in our day-to-day life. As you know that, you know, most of the participants here are the monks, nuns, and the lay people, and I pay homage to the monks and the nuns, and also, you know, I welcome all the other participants, the followers of the Buddhism, the followers of the Buddhist teaching, because this is one of the very crucial topics. The Abhidhamma is one of the very difficult. Even the Buddha, when he delivered on the Abhidhamma, he had already mentioned that, you know, this is not for all. It is not for all means, you know, it is not so easy to understand by all the people, because this is all about the mind. And as you know that, you know, Buddha is the only person, you know, who had classified the mind, you know, so deeply, you know, the chitta, and you know, this is you know, as you know that, you know, this is so crucial, you know, so deep, that, you know, only a very learned can deliver the lecture on it. And Professor Bhimanendra Kumar. He is a very renowned professor in India on the Buddhism. He is the the expert in the Pali language, and he is associated with the Lumini Buddhist University since long time. I met him the first time in 2010. From that day, I saw him contributing in the development of the Lumini Buddhist University. Now he is associated with all the PhD program in the Lumini Buddhist University. He is helping us as a external examiner, and under him we had awarded PhD for many scholars from Lumini Buddhist University. Therefore, his contribution in the Buddhism and his contribution in the Lumini Buddhist University is enormous. It is very much which we can't value in any term. Therefore, it is all invaluable. Therefore, I'm expecting the same sort of contribution from him to the Lumini Buddhist University. Now, he had already committed that he will take the class in the Abhidhamma that is used in the day-to-day life for 1 year, because he will be here for 1 year, at least for 1 year. And also he will be involved in many other activities, like in the research, like in the other lectures. He will be visiting Kathmandu also in different colleges to deliver the lecture, and he will be organizing many conferences in the university. From him, now we can take a lot more benefit, and the university is looking the support from different people, different experts from all over the world. And he is the first person, who is helping to the university, and we should have to admire for his the support that he is providing. Now, without you all in his class and take the benefit, and you can have a very good interaction, with him, and clarify all the doubts, and you can extend your knowledge in the Abhidhamma. Okay, hoping this, I just want to request Professor Bhimanendra Kumar to conduct his lecture. Bhavatu Sabhamangala.
Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor of Lumini Buddhist
Please.
University, for delivering valuable words. And Registrar of Lumini Buddhist University has also joined to this program. I would like to welcome him also. Now we come to the main session of this program. Nowadays, our people of this world are facing various types of problem in this circumstance. Buddha's teachings might be very essential. Focusing that aspect, we are conducting this program. And today's topic is Buddhism for everyday life. Now, I would like to kindly request Professor Dr. Vibhaṅga.
Manik sir, our registrar, Dr. Tilak Ram Acharya, has also joined. We just kindly request him to also say a few words.
I have told him.
Yes.
I have already asked him, so it's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Now I would like to kindly request Professor Dr. Bhimanendra Kumar to deliver his lecture on Buddhism for everyday life.
So thank you, Professor Manik Ratan Sakya ji, Honorable our Vice Chancellor, Professor Suvarlal Bajracharya ji, Dr. Tilak Ram Acharya, Honorable Registrar, Lumini Buddhist University, Dean of the faculties of our Lumini Buddhist Universities, other distinguished teachers of Lumini Buddhist University, Dr. Indra Kafile and Churamani Pokhralji, and others. I am seeing that most of the persons of administration of L.B.U have joined. I am really very much thankful to the administrative authorities of Lumini Buddhist University for allowing me to give a series of lectures, especially Abhidhammic point of view, that how the teachings of the Buddha which are available in Abhidhamma, how they are helpful in our day-to-day life. Much has been already researched and have been told on the basis of the literatures which are available in Sutta and Vinaya. The main purpose of this series of the lecture is to give inquisitiveness among the scholars that how the thoughts available in our Abhidhammapiṭaka as well as in its commentaries, how they are helpful in understanding the insights of the teachings of the Buddha, how these teachings of the Buddha can be applied in our day-to-day life, how these insights which are available in Abhidhamma, how they are helpful in our day-to-day life in solving the present-day problems. So with the help of these, I have made a series of lectures. And the main purpose of this webinar or through online lecture is that those who are not available in Lumini area, there are so many campuses of our Lumini Buddhist University in Butwal, Devda, as well as in Kathmandu. We are having constituent colleges as well as affiliated colleges. They may get insights from this lecture series. So with the idea of that how others can also get help from this lecture series, for that purpose it has been arranged. And we are thankful to our Dean Faculty of Buddhist Studies, Dr. Manikratna Sakyaji, and other administrative staff allowing me to start this lecture series. So today the topic which has been selected by me, which is very profound in nature, that is the dependent originations, law of dependent originations, Paṭiccasamuppāda. And it has been interpreted by many scholars, Westerners as well as Indians, on the basis of our Sutta literatures. Very few scholars have tried to discuss the law of dependent originations on the text available in Abhidhammapiṭaka. So there is a lack of understanding of the teachings of the Buddha on the basis of Abhidhamma. Buddha also says that this law of dependent originations is very profound. He also asked Anand that it is not very understandable in a very common people. It is very difficult and profound in nature also. Buddha also says sometimes in the text that, O Anand, it is Gambhir, it is Paṭiccasamuppāda, it is Avabhaso and Dhamma Anubodha. It cannot be understood by a common person. So how the common persons can understand it? And in the Vibhaṅga, which is the Vinaya text, one of the 5 texts of Vinaya Piṭaka, Sariputta, when he was traveling, he met with Venerable Assaji. And after seeing the personality of Assaji, Sariputta asked that, who is your teacher? And what are the main teachings of your teacher? Then Assaji, who has got the enlightenment, after hearing the teachings of the Buddha, he said that I don't know much about this. I have just newly ordained novice. But whatever I have understood by the teachings, it is very that ye dhamma hetupabha tesam cha yo nirodho evam vadi mahasamano. That whatever the things which are happening in our day-to-day life, they are on the basis of hetu and the pratyaya. Again, in the Mahabharata, it has been also said that yam kinchi samuday dhammam tam nirodha dhammam ti, that whatever there is a arising of dhamma, there is a cessation of that state or dhamma also. So it is very profound in nature. And I am trying to discuss this law of dependent originations on the basis of the text, especially the second text of Abhidhammapiṭaka, Vibhaṅga, and how does it differ from the Sutta traditions of the understanding of the law of dependent originations, how it has been interpreted by our different scholars. To make an inquisitiveness, I am trying to this lecture. So we are quite aware that there is no Almighty God. Everything is dependent on some cause and conditions. Whatever things which are happening in our day-to-day life, they are based upon some cause and conditions, hetu and the pachay. And there are the 12 links, Dwadas Nidan, through which all the happenings of our day-to-day life which are happening. So these 12 links have been also divided into 3 parts of our life. That is the past life, present life, and the future life. These is the suttantic traditions of the interpretations of the law of dependent originations. But how this thought has been differed in the teachings of the available in our Pitaka, Abhidhammapiṭaka, that is especially in the Abhidhammapiṭaka. So for understanding within a very clear manner, I will give you the slide sharing. I will just like to request that I will share some of the PPT points so that a person can understand in a very clear manner. So this is the main topic our discussions today, the law of dependent originations within single thought moments or within the single moment of consciousness, ekacitta-khaṇika. So that is the interpretations which have been discussed in the teachings of the Buddha available in Abhidhammapiṭaka. So the main purpose of this hour that first of all I will discuss with the 12 links of the law of dependent originations. Then I will come to the main point that how dependent originations has been interpreted within a single thought moment or within a single moment of consciousness, that is the ekacitta-khaṇika Paṭiccasamuppāda. So that is the main interpretations in the Abhidhamma. I will give you some of the examples, then we'll discuss that how the law of dependent origination has been discussed in a different manner in the text of Abhidhammapiṭaka. So let us discuss that first of all, that Buddha also says that one who sees the law of dependent originations, he sees me, and one who sees me, he also sees Dhamma, that is the Buddha teachings of the Buddha. So this is yo Paṭiccasamuppāda passati, so mama passati, yo mama passati, so dhammam passati. It has been interpreted in the same manner in the text of Mahayana Sanskrit text. So this is the main interpretation, and even Buddha also says that it is the law of dependent origination is very profound. It is not in a very easy understandable that one can understand the law of dependent originations, because for seeing the Buddha, he has to understand the teachings of the Buddha in a clear manner. So this is the law of dependent originations. We have already seen there is no self-independent entity. Everything comes into existence dependent on some unconsistency. In the Majjhima Nikaya, it has been said that imasmim sati idam hoti, imasmim asati idam na hoti, imas upada idam upajjati, imas nirodha idam nirujjati. That whenever there is a that exists, that also exists. On the arising of this, that also arises. In the absence of this, that does not come into existence. And on the cessation of this, that also ceases to be. That whatever the things which are coming into existence, they are based upon cause and conditions. And whenever there is no any cause and conditions, there is no existence of anything or a state. So there are the 12 links, everybody knows about it. There are two ways of understanding the law of dependent originations, patilomanaya and anulomanaya. Abhijja pachaya sankhara, sankhara pachaya biyana, biyana pachaya namrup, namrup pachaya phasso, phasso pachaya vedana, vedana pachaya tanha, tanha pachaya upadan, upadan pachaya bhav, bhav pachaya jati, jati pachaya jaramaran. These are the 12 links. Everybody knows about these 12 links, and all these 12 links are divided into three parts. First two, avijja and sankharas, that is the activities are related with our past life, and the jati and the jaraman. These are belonging to our future, are belonging to our present life. So this is our present. So this law of dependent originations, in a direct way, it is the functioning and explains the way of continuity of the chain of repeated existence, and through its direct way of exhibits the possibility of the cessations. Based upon the past life, there is the existence of the present life, and based upon the present life, there is the existence of the future life. So this is our law of dependent originations. So there are 12 links. In a very brief manner, I will just discuss the 12 links for understanding that how it differs with the 12 links of the text of Abhidhammapiṭaka. As we are quite aware that ignorance, avijja, is nothing but not having the knowledge of the Four Noble Truth, Eightfold Path, Law of Dependent Originations, 5 precepts, and the past existence, present existence, and the future existence. This is our ignorance. In the text, it has been defined: dukkhe ayanam, dukh samudaya ayanam, dukh nirodham ayanam, dukh nirodhagamni patipada ayanam, id pachayata ayanam, patisamuppannesu dhammesu ayanam, aparantam ayanam, pubatta aparantam ayanam, idam buchyati avijja. So avijja is not having the knowledge of the Four Noble Truth, law of dependent origination, law of conditionality. This is the ignorance. Again, the chief function or the primary object of ignorance is to cover the nature of the reality. Through the ignorance, we are not able to know the nature of the reality, that all things are subject to impermanence, all things are subject to suffering, and all dhammas are subject to soulless. So, based upon the ignorance, there is the arising of activities, that is the sankharas. It is of 3 types: kaik sankhara, vachi sankhara, and mano sankhara. All the actions which are being done by our mind. Mind has great role. Buddha also says that Chaitanaham bhikkhave kammam badami chetitva kai kammam vachikammam manokammam badami. So Buddha says that, O monks, I call volition as an actions, and through this actions, all the physical, vocal, and mental actions are being done or performed. Whenever any person does any moral or immoral actions related with the physical, vocal, and mental actions, there is the resultant of those physical, vocal, and mental actions. Based upon these resultant of the physical, vocal, and mental actions, it is called as sankharas. Sankharas are in Abhidhamma traditions. There are 29 types of consciousness which are related with our mental activities or the sankharas. 12 are the akusal, which are called as apunya abhisankhara, and there are 8 types of kamavachar kusala chitta and 5 types of rupavachar kusala chitta. They are called as punya abhisankhara, and Arupavachar, 4 types of Kusala Chitta, they are called as Ananja Visankhara. So altogether there are 29 types of consciousness which are coming under physical, vocal, and mental actions resultant. So these are coming based upon our ignorance. So that is why it is called as Abhidhammapiṭaka Sankhara. So Sankhara is the name of different types of moral and immoral consciousness which belong 3 levels of existence, that is the Kamavachar, Rupavachar, and Arupavachar. So based upon the activity, there is the our Sankhara Pachaya Bhiyan. So here Bhiyan is the Patisandhi Chitta, which is called as birth consciousness. And there are, in Abhidhamma traditions, there are 19 types of consciousness which are called as Vijnana, which is called as birth consciousness or Patisandhi consciousness. And these are coming into existence based upon our mental activities, which are 29 in number. So all these are coming based upon the mental activities. So birth consciousness is the resultant are capable to unite a being from one state of existence to another, and this sense they are collectively called as Bhiyan. So Bhiyan is also called as one of the Patisandhi Chitta, which are 19 in number on the basis of Abhidhamma. So these are coming through based upon the Sankhara. And again, based upon the Vijnana, there is coming of Nam and Rupa. That is the Vijnana Pachaya Nama Rupa. So there are 2 terms here, Nam and Rupa. Nam, Namati iti Namam, that which links towards the object, that is called as the Nama. In the Dhammasangani, there is a question, Tat Katmam Namam. It has been said that Vedana Kando, Sanya Kando, Sankar Kando, Beyond Kando, Asankata cha Dhatu Idam Buchati Namam. So Nam is the name of the 89 or 121 types of consciousness, as well as 52 types of psychic factors associated with all 89 or 21 types of consciousness. This is called as a Nama. Roop is Rupati Ti Rupam, that which changes itself at every moment is called as a Rupa. But in Abhidhamma, in Rupa Kanda of Dhammasangani, there is a question Tat Katamam Rupam. It has been said that Chattaro cha Mahabhuta Chatunnam cha Mahabhutanam Upadanam Idam Buchati Sabbam Rupam. So there are 4 types of basic material qualities, namely Pathvi, earth, Apo, water, Tejo, fire, and bio, air. There are 4 basic material qualities, Mahabhut, and there are 23 types of Upada Rupa. They are called as generated material qualities, which comes into existence based upon the 4 basic material qualities. Again, based upon this mind and matter, there are the existence of our first Nam Rupa Pachaya Hasu. So there are 24 types of generated material qualities, Upada Rupa, and that is why called it Vijnana Pachaya Nam Rupa. So the birth consciousness which are coming into our existence, they are based upon the our beyond, that is on the basis of the Patisanthi Chitta, there is a incoming of a personality in the form of mother, in the form of Nam and Rupa. So Nam is the 89 or 121 types of consciousness as well as 52 types of psychic factors, and there are 4 Mahabhut and 23 types of Upada Rup. These are coming based upon the beyond, and based upon the Nam Rupa, there is the arising of the 6 senses. They are called as Salayatana. So there are 6 chakshus, there are 6 senses like chakhu, sot, ghan, jihva, kai, and man. And whenever these 6 senses are having contact with their respective object, there is the arising of the contact. Chakshu sampasa, sot sampasa, ghan sampasa, jihva sampasa, kai sampasa, mano sampasa. So there are the 6 types of arising of the senses which are coming into existence. So here, mind or consciousness is defined alamban chinteti ti chittam vijanati ti yatho. That consciousness is that which thinks of an object, and it is in the sense of knowing of that object. This is called as our mind. So it has the function to think over it, or any sense has its capacity to know the object. So this is the called as our 6 senses. There are 6 senses, and these are coming on the basis of our Nam Rupa. So everybody knows about these 6 senses, and based upon these 6 senses, there is the arising of Vedana, that is the feeling. Feeling is that which is being experienced by touching anything. Sa vediti ti vedana, or anubhavana lakhana ti vedana. Vedana or feeling is that which is being experienced by touching any respective object. So we have seen there are 6 senses, and based upon the 6 senses, there are 6 contacts also. And on the basis of the 6 contacts, there are feelings which are 5 in number. So manasa vedana, sukha vedana, do manasa vedana, dukha vedana, and upekha vedana. There are 5 types of feelings which are arising based upon our first. And these first is this Vedana is arising based upon the contact of respective object, that is the Alambana. So that is why it is called as first Pachaya Vedana. And based upon the Vedana, there is the arising of our Tanaha. If you go through the second noble truth, it has been said, Yayam Tanaha Panobhavika, Nandi Rag Sahagata Tatra Tatra Abhinandani, Setitam Kamatanha, Bhautanha, and Vibhautana. So there are 3 types of Krishna which are arising on the basis of our contacts with the respective objects by our senses. So these are arising based upon our contact of the object as well as the based upon the any kinds of the feeling. So these desire manifests with respect of the 6 types of objects, and that is why it is called as Vedana Pachaya Tanha. So on the basis of varieties of the objects, they increase the varieties of desire also. So they all depends on the feeling. They are 5 in number. So manas vedana, sukha vedana, do manas vedana, dukha vedana, and upekha vedana. And that is why it is called as Vedana Pachaya Tanha. And based upon the Vedana, there is the craving, that is the Upadan. Balvati Tanhati Upadanam. When a desire is translated into an action, this is called as Upadan. And this Upadan has been interpreted by our commentators that it is just like a commitment to get anything. Whenever a person who sees a very beautiful flower and he wants to get that beautiful flower, and the commitment to get that flower is called as Upadan or craving. So whenever a desire is translated into an action, this is called as upadana, and this is based upon our desire, whether it is kamatana, bhautana, and vibhautana. So these are arising based upon the desires, which are 3 in number, and in another way, it is the strong desire is known as upadana. And the craving comes into being depending upon the desire. That is why it is called as tanha pachaya upadanam. Again, based upon the upadan, there is the incoming of bhava. That is the process of existence, which are based upon the 3 types of kamma bhava, upatti bhava, and nimatti bhava. So there are 3 types of process of repeated existence which are coming into existence based upon the upadan. And in another way, it is called as sankharas or mental activities, which we have already discussed. There are 29 types of consciousness, punya visankhara, apunya visankhara, and ananja visankharas. So here becoming, that is the sankharas, which are 29 types of consciousness. 12 are the akusala chitta, 13 are the our kusala chitta, and 12 are the akusala chitta, and then 4 are the arupa kusala chitta. So based upon that, there are 29 types of consciousness which are called as, and this bhav comes on the upadana. Again, that is why it is called as upadana pachaya bhav. And based upon the upadana, there is the arising of the jati. Jati means birth, that panchakhandhanam patu bhavoti jati, that whenever there is the appearance of the 5 aggregates, panchakhandas, Rup Khand, Vedana Khand, Sanya Khand, Sankhar Khand, Biyana Khand. So these are called as our jati. So it means unification of the previous state of existence with the present one. It is another name of Patisandhi Chitta also. It is uniting consciousness also. So there are, in simple way, it is called as a appearance of the 5 aggregates. So that is why it is called as Bhaupachaya Jati. So here Jati, based upon the Jati, there is the arising of old age and death. Old age is that whenever there is a wrinkling of the face, there is the weakening of our bones. This is our jara. So Atu Bhavoti Jara. And Marana is called as Indriya Supachedo. Whenever there is a destruction of the present life, this is called as Marana. There are so many terms in Pali, Tipitaka related with the breath. The Machu is another term which is also called, and Jivit Indriya Upacheda, that is destruction of the life. Vitality is called as Marana. So this is the. So we are discussing about the Jati Pachaya Jara Maran. So based upon the birth, there is the arising of Jara and Marana. So this. So this is the Sutanta way of tradition, in which the 12 links of the law of dependent originations has been discussed. Buddha again and again says that this law of dependent originations is very profound, and it cannot be understood in a very simple manner by a common person also. So this is the suttantabhājanīya, and now we are coming to the second part, that how it has been interpreted into the text of Abhidhammapiṭaka. So Vibhaṅga is the second book of Abhidhammapiṭaka. There are 7 texts, as we are quite aware that Abhidhamma is the excellent and profound teachings of the Abhidhamma. And there are 3 attributes, Paramatha Desana, Jatha Dhamma Sasanam, and Nama Rupa Paricheda Katha. And it is very profound, and all the teachings of the Buddha, which are available in 7 texts of Abhidhammapiṭaka. In Vibhaṅga, there are 18 discussing about that how the law of dependent originations has been discussed in our Suttanta traditions. Now I am going to discuss about the Vibhaṅga, which is the second book of the Abhidhammapiṭaka. Vibhaṅga literally means analysis of the 4 Paramatha Dhammas, that is the Chitta, Chaitanya, Rupa and Nibbana. And there are 18 Vibhaṅgas. Under the 18 Vibhaṅgas, Paṭiccasamuppāda Vibhaṅga is the 6th one, which discusses about the law of dependent originations in a very different and philosophical manner. So on the basis of this Vibhaṅga, I am going to discuss that how Vibhaṅga differs with the Suttanta traditions. And there are 18 Vibhaṅgas which starts from the Khanda Vibhaṅga, Ayatana Vibhaṅga, Dhatu Vibhaṅga, Indriya Vibhaṅga, Satya Vibhaṅga, and Paṭiccasamuppāda Vibhaṅga. And all the Vibhaṅgas there are 3 parts: suttantabhājanīya, abhidhammabhājanīya, and paññāpuccaka. Under the suttantabhājanīya, there is a interpretation that how the teachings of the Buddha have been interpreted by the Buddha in suttas, and how abhidhammabhājanīya differs with the Suttanta traditions, and how there is interpretations of the teachings of the Buddha under the different Vibhaṅgas, 18 chapters in the Vibhaṅga. So here in the 6th chapter, there is a detailed description in a philosophical manner. They have been discussed. So on the basis of Abhidhamma, there are 4 Paramatha Dhammas, namely Chitta, Chaitanya, Rupa and Nibbana, consciousness, psychic factors, material quality, and a state of eternal bliss. And these 4 Paramatha Dhammas have been discussed with the help of 122 Abhidhammapitikas and 42 suttantabhājanīya. Abhidhammapitikas are 122, which have been again divided into 22 tikka-matika and 100 dukka-matika. And these matikas are angles, points, or visions through which the philosophical interpretations of the teachings of the Buddha have been done. So they are based upon the Abhidhamma traditions which are available in Dhammasangani. So in Dhammasangani, all the 122 Abhidhammapitikas and 42 suttantabhājanīya, they have been understood in 4 chapters: Chittupada Khanda, Rupa Khanda, Nikhepa Khanda, and Athdwara Khanda. So again here in the Vibhaṅga, in the 6th chapter, there is a discussion on the teachings of the Buddha related with the law of dependent originations. So here there is the Vibhaṅga analysis of the law of dependent originations. Here it is said that ekacitta-khaṇika Paṭiccasamuppāda, that how law of dependent originations can be understood within a single moment of thought or consciousness. So this is we have discussed in the tradition of Suttanta. They have been given that there are 3 types of period, that is the past life, Atita Kal, Vartamana Kal, and Anagata Kal. So we are not going to discuss. There are the 12 links which have been again divided into 20 types of modes, that is the Visati Akar, and there are 3 types of junctions, 3 Sandhi also, and there are 4 types of sections. All the 12 types of law of dependent originations, they have been divided into 4 types of divisions, further divisions, and there are 3 types of Vattani, that is the rounds, Klesha Vatta, Vipaka Vatta, and Kamba Vatta. So these have been given, and there are 2 types of roots also, that is the Dve Mulani, which have been discussed. So this is the Suttanta traditions, and they are called as Dvadasa Anga Paṭiccasamuppāda. So these are the 12 links of the interpretations of the law of dependent originations. Now we are going to discuss that how the law of dependent originations, which are divided into three parts, how they are differing with the Vibhaṅga analysis of abhidhammabhājanīya. So this is our last that suttantabhājanīya explains the cycle of birth and death that is called as process of repeated existence in terms of Dvadas Anga Paṭiccasamuppāda or the law of dependent originations or the things in 12 links. This is said to be most comprehensive through short explanations, this given by the Suttantikas. This explanation takes into considerations all the realm of the 89 types of chittas or the types of thoughts and other dhammas. They belong to different period of time and hence to similar temporal orders for so many chitta-khaṇas or moments of thought. So these 12 links of law of dependent originations, there are so many forms of the life thoughts here, chitta-khaṇa, that is there are so many moments of the consciousness which are occurring through all the 12 links of the law of dependent originations. But here coming to our abhidhammabhājanīya, that all things are happening within a single thought of consciousness, single moment of consciousness, that is ekacitta-khaṇika, which we are going to discuss that how it is applicable in our Abhidhamma traditions. So here Abhidhammapiṭaka of Dhammasangani have been treated with the formula of dependent originations. Remarkable application of Paṭiccasamuppāda is called in the commentary of Vibhaṅga, that is the Sammoha Vinodini, which is written by our great commentator Acharya Buddha Ghosa, that the dependent origination within a single moment of consciousness or single moment of thought, that is called ekacitta-khaṇika Paṭiccasamuppāda, which we are going to discuss in a very brief manner. And it is very elaborate explanations, but I will confine with some of the examples in the first section of our Abhidhammabhājanīya of Paṭiccasamuppāda. So commentary states that which of the 24 modes of the relations paccayas are applicable to which links of that momentary Paṭiccasamuppāda, that how the 12 links of law of dependent originations, how the avidya and the sankharas are causally related with each other. How many are the paccayas or the relations which are causally related with our avidya and sankharas? How sankharas are related with our vijnana? How many relations are appearing within these moments? How the vijnana paccaya namarupa, how many relations or the paccayas are applicable in two links? So this is another interpretations of the law of dependent originations. It is mainly based in our Abhidhammapiṭaka, but we are confining ourselves only to the Abhidhammapiṭaka, that is the second book of Abhidhammapiṭaka, Vibhaṅga. So here, ekacitta-khaṇika Paṭiccasamuppāda, which we are going, that all things are happening in our day-to-day life. Any event, there are three stages: uppāda, sthiti, and bhaṅga, arising, staying, and the cessation. Every thought, and there are 89 or 121 types of consciousness according to Abhidhamma traditions, and all 89 or 121 types of consciousness are the actions. It is called as monopomangma dhamma, that all the consciousness are called as actions. All these actions are being performed by our mind also. So that is why in each action, whatever we are doing, there are three sub-thoughts moments: uppāda, sthiti, and bhaṅga. There is the arising, there is the staying, and there is a cessation of that. And there are three stages which is going. The commentary literature later presents a full-fledged scheme of momentary, wherein a single phenomena passes into three different sub-moments of arising: uppāda-khaṇa, endurance, sthiti-khaṇa, and passing away, that is the cessation, that is the bhaṅga-khaṇa. So there are phases of single momentary phenomena defined as one single Dhamma or the component that is the moment. So there is only one thought moment within a single thought. There are 89 types of actions or the consciousness. They are performing independently. Whenever any person does any actions, where there is that is called a one thought moment. We'll also discuss that how our objects are being cognized by our mind also or consciousness. There is a process of consciousness. We'll discuss that how the things are being cognized and how there are moments of the consciousness which are taking place in cognizing the moment, the objects also. So the material phenomena, even that is the roop, which are 28 in number, 4 Mahabhut and 24 Upada roop, they are also having roop samutthān according to Abhidhamma, and every roop which is arising, there are also 3 stages. That is the Upada arising, Thiti staying, and cessation, that is the Bhanga. So the consciousness consists of 2 sub-moments arising Uppad and Bhanga. So each of these sub-moments phenomena equal time durations. However, the sub-moments of endurance of the material phenomena equal to the 16 moments of consciousness. Here it is said that our consciousness cognize the object. Here mind is 17 or 16 times faster than our roop. So whenever a roop which comes in the range of our mind or the consciousness, there are 16 thought moments which are occurring. So roop has only one moment, thought moment, that is the roop khana, and in cognizing the object, there are 17 thoughts moments which are taking. That is why it is called as a mind is faster than the roop, that is the object also. And within a single twinkling of our eye, or even the bulb which takes millions of thoughts, moments are occurring in our event. So there are so many thoughts, moments which are occurring in our day-to-day life. Even it is said according to Abhidhamma that there are 144 types of thought moments which are taking place in one consciousness. We'll discuss that how these are taking place. So according to Theravada philosophical model, every mind and material phenomena, that is the Chitta, Chaitsik and Rupa, through the sub-moments of Uppad, Thiti and Bhanga. So there are 3 sub-thoughts moments which are occurring with every types of consciousness, psychic factors and the Rupa, that is the material quality. So the time duration of sub-moments of arising and cessation of both the mind and the phenomena is also equal. However, the state of presence of a material unit is 17 times longer than the similar stage of mind moment. That is why it is called as mind is 16 times or 17 times faster than our material qualities, that is the Rupa. So in Vibhaṅga abhidhammabhājanīya, there are 14 types of divisions for understanding the law of dependent origination. It is not possible to discuss all these 4, but I will discuss only the first one. That is the first is Paṭiccasamuppāda. Here Paccaya means everything is dependent on some cause and conditions. There are hetu and the Paccaya. So these hetu is in the sense of roots, mulathena hetu. All the actions are being done with the help of the 6 kinds of roots, namely akusal hetu and kusal hetu, which are 3 in number, lobha, dosa, moha, alobha, dosa, moha. So based upon this is called as hetu, and paccaya is in the sense of upkara kathena paccayo, that which is in the sense of rendering of the service based upon the any kind of our hetu. Any actions is being done, that is called as paccaya. So based upon this I am selecting only the Pacchaya Chatukkam. Although there are 14, we are not going to discuss how it is said that every thought moment, all the events are taken place. So here, Paṭiccasamuppāda, there are 4 types of our varaj. Var means that is the course way. So how these Hetu and the Paccaya, they are discussing in the 4 ways. So if you go through the first section, there are 4 varas, that is all the 12 links they have been discussed here, and they have given Abhijja Paccaya Sankharo, Sankhara Paccaya Vyanam, Vyana Paccaya Namam, Nama Paccaya Nama Paccaya Salayatanam, Chattha Ayatanam, Paccaya Fasso, Fas Paccaya Vedana, Vedana Paccaya Tanha, Tanha Paccaya Upadan, Upadan Paccaya Bhav, Bhav Paccaya Jati, Jati Paccaya Jara, Maran, Evomev Dukh Khandasya Samudayo Hoti. So this is the first course out of the 4. We'll discuss that how in the first var, that is the Abhijja Paccaya Sankharo. So here, if you go through the Sankhar term, it is here in the singular form, Ekvachana. That is the, here if it is plural, then it will be Sankhara, Abhijja Paccaya Sankhara. But here in Abhidhamma traditions, it is said that based upon the ignorance, there is the arising of only one Sankhara. That is why it is put here in singular form, that there is only one Sankhara. We know there are 52 types of psychic factors. Out of the 52 types of psychic factors, 50 are the Sankharas, and Vedana is one, and Sanya is one. And rest of the psychic factors are called as Sankharas. And these out of the Sankharas, and we have also seen that Abhijja Paccaya Sankhara, there are 29 types of mental activities. Punya Abhisankhara, Apunya Abhisankhara, Punya Abhisankhara, and Aranja Abhisankhara. So there are altogether 29. But out of the 29, there is only one Sankhara which is arising based upon the Abhijja. That is why it is called that there is only one single thought of consciousness, single moment of consciousness, ekacitta-khaṇa Paṭiccasamuppāda. That is why that there are no so many Sankharas which are arising. So we'll discuss one by one that how, based upon the Vyana Paccaya Namam, here there is no Nam and Rupa, only the Nam is coming. So here Nam is in the singular form. So beyond, based upon the birth consciousness, there is the arising of the Nam. That is in singular form. So every which is arising based upon the cause, that is called as in a single moment of the consciousness, ekacitta-khaṇika Paṭiccasamuppāda. So see that there are 4 factors. We will discuss one by one, then it will be more clear to you. So here these 4 varas, so the 4 ways of Paṭiccasamuppādana in the one chitta-khaṇa, one thought moment. In the Paṭiccasamuppādana, that is in the Suttantabhājanīya tradition, on the basis of Suttantabhājanīya traditions, the term Sankharas, that is the plural form, has been used in the plural form, whereas it has been used in the singular number in Abhidhamma tradition. The reason is that former takes into consideration all the 29 types of Sankharas, Punya Abhisankhara, Apunya Abhisankhara, and Aranja Abhisankharas. These 3 have been given in relation to the study of the bhavachakra, that is the process of repeated existence. But in case of, that is the Abhidhamma, one chitta-khaṇa, one thought moment, there can be only one Sankhara. That is the singular number, hence the singular form. It is said in the text, Tatra ayam nayo abhisejenena tav chatusu pi etesu suttantabhājanīya biya battva sankharoti buttam. That whatever it has been said in the Suttantabha tradition, it has not been said, but it has been said as a Sankhara. that is the mental activity. Why it has tam kasmati? Why it is that ekacitta-khaṇa, because of one thought moment of the consciousness. So, in between the avidya, based upon the avidya, there is the arising of the sankhara. There is only thought moment, which is the consciousness is arising. So here, paccayikaro vibhatto. So all the law of dependent originations has been analyzed here. So ekacitta-khaṇika aradho, that here on the basis of the method of the one thought moment has been undertaken. Again, in the first var, in the place of Nama Rupa, there is only the mention of Nam. And in place of the Salaitana, 6 message, only the mention of the Chhatha Ayatana. It is because in the study of one chitta-khaṇa, one thought moment of consciousness, Nam and Rupa do not come together in the picture together. Although this var studies only one chitta-khaṇa, yet both Vijnana and Chhatha Ayatana have been mentioned in the same khana. This has been done just to show how the causal relations of certain Dhamma can vary according to the relative position it occupies at a given moment and to maintain the formal order of the Paṭiccasamuppāda intact. It has been said in the text, if we go through the text here, tatra editam sammapatme avidya mulake naye paccay chatukam tasmipi ruppthane namassa salayatan thane chhatha ayatanam cha buddhata aparipunnavana. So therefore, their explanation is that in case of Vijnana, sankhara is the hetu, that is the cause, and phala, whereas in case of Chhatha Ayatana, Nam is the hetu and first is the phala. So in the term beginning with the soka have been mentioned as they do not associate with any thought moment of consciousness. Regarding jati and marana, their presence in the Sankhata Dhammas. Sankhata Dhammas are those states which are arising on any cause and conditions. So all the same, they have been included here just to keep the number incomplete. In view of this number of Vangas, this var is valid in any plane. What it functions, it is known as sabgahik varo, that the course which has been undertaken by all. So here again in the second, what we are discussing in the here, the second avidya paccaya sankhara, sankhara paccaya vijnana. Vijnana paccaya nam, here there is an explanation of that. That second var, the Chhatha Ayatana has also been dropped since it depicts that contact first is related not only to Chhatha Ayatana but also to Chit Vedana, Sanya and Sankhara, which constitute Nama. Further, it illustrates a Paṭiccasamuppāda as given in the Mahanidana Sutta of Dignikaya. Because a number of Angas, the var is known as Aparipunna ekacitta-khaṇika varo. As regards the third var, there are 4 var or course. In the third var, Nam mentioned in full. But in place of Salayatana, Chhatha Ayatana has been mentioned. Here the question may be raised that why Rup has been introduced in this var. It has been done in order to show the Purejat and Nissay Paccay of the Rupa as given in the Patthana to Chitta. Purejat, there are 2 types of Paccay Dhamma and Paccay Upanna Dhamma. That Paccay Dhamma is the previous arising consciousness, and Nissay Paccaya, that based upon the Paccay Dhamma, there is the arising of the Paccay Upanna Dhamma. So this reference does not disturb the Paṭiccasamuppāda explanation. In this connection, it has to remember that while the first 2 varas hold Arupalok and generally in Kamalok and Rupalok, the third var holds good in the Gavasaya Kaj, that in the home of parents. By introducing Rupa that was absent in the first var, one anga has been completed var is called as paripurna ekanga yutto dvadas angiko varo. So this is the last one, the fourth var. As regards the fourth var, Salaytana has been introduced in relation with Nama Rupa. But as this is the study of one ekacitta-khaṇa, only Chhattha Ayatana has been mentioned in relation with two first. This var holds good in the case of upapathic beings. Upapathic beings are taking birth without the help of the parents. So, in consideration complete number of angas, this var is known as Paripurna Dvadas Angavar. It is to be noted that Paṭṭhanana is the special feature of Abhidhamma explanation of the Paṭiccasamuppāda. So, according to traditional interpretation, that is in the Suttanta, the operation of the doctrine of Paṭiccasamuppāda ranges over 3 consecutive lives. So, here there is the again, modern scholars, there is a Buddhdas Bhikkhu of Thailand who also does not agree with the interpretations in the Suttantabha traditions. He also does not agree with the 3 life periods of the 12 links, that is the past life, present life, and the future life. And he also differs whatever it has been interpreted in the Suttantabha traditions. It is said that the acharyas who participated in the first or second or third Buddhist council, they were not able to understand the intricacies of the law of dependent originations. He also agrees with the interpretations of what it has been done in the Vibhaṅga, that is the ekacitta-khaṇika Paṭiccasamuppāda. So this our Thai great scholar, Buddhdas Bhikkhu, he has also rejected this our Suttanta tradition of interpretations of law of dependent origination. He interprets the doctrine of Paṭiccasamuppāda as applicable to events within the single moment of time. So mentality, that is the consciousness, psychic factors, and materiality, that is the rupa, arises and passes away every thought moment. This is the level of explanation of few peoples who know about or want to know about it is necessary to it. Our chitta, chetasik, and the rupa, that is the mind and body, arises and passes away each thought moment, and this is the language of Abhidhamma. So this desire tanha arises because of mind arises, and is sustained and passes away with the space of what is called as Vibhaṅga chitta. Here there are 12 cores of cognition. That is, there is a need of discussing about the process of consciousness, that is the chitta vithi. Chitta vithi is the name of course of consciousness, that chitta vithi, chitta parampara, that all the actions which are being governed by our consciousness, they are called as course of cognitions. So there are 2 types of chitta vithi, that is the panchadwara vithi and manodwara vithi. Panchadwara vithi is a course of cognitions which are being cognized by our 5 senses, and when the cognitions of the objects are being done by the 5 senses, this is called as panchadwara vithi. And the dhammayatana, which is the object of our mind, which is being cognized by our mind, and this is called as manodwara vithi. So there are 6 senses altogether, and all the objects are being cognized by our different 6 senses. This is the course of cognitions. And there are 10 stages through which the objects are being known or cognized. This is the course of cognition or the process of consciousness, that how the objects are being known by our consciousness. So these 10 stages are Bhavanga, Bhavanga Chalana, Bhavanga Vicheda, Panchadwara Vithi, Chakku Vijnana, Sampatichana, Santirna, Utthappana, Javana, and Tadalambana. There are 10 stages through which objects are being cognized. So Bhavanga is the first one. It is the passive state of mind through which we are not able to know anything. But whenever there is any action, then there is a disturbance of the Bhavanga. So here Bhavanga Chitta is the passive state of our mind. And each state of mind, whenever there is any event, Uppada, Thiti, and Bhanga, which are arising, staying, and passing away. So this one thought moment, and there were 17 thought moments here again from the Bhavanga to Tadalambana, there are 17 thoughts moments which are occurring. So this is called that within a single thought moment, every Upad, Thiti, and Bhanga arising, staying, and the cessations are occurring. So according one cycle of arising, persisting, and passing away is called as one thought moment, ekacitta-khaṇa. So according to this meaning, it is held that mentality, jit, chaitasic, and materiality, the roop, or the person, that is the panchakhandhas, arise, passes away each thought moment so fast as to be beyond counting. Whenever any objects is being cognized by our senses, it happens within a single moment of thought. We cannot recognize it because within a twinkling of our eyes, billions of thoughts moments are occurring. Even when the bulb comes into form, there are millions of thoughts moments which are occurring also. It is not being perceived by our human mind. One cannot understand it, that how it is happening. It happens so fast. So conclusion part we are coming to here, that the concept of Khanavad is developed to explain the continuous and spontaneous inherent in the phenomenal world. All things, there are three lakhana: sabbe sankhara anicca, sabbe sankhara dukkha, and sabbe dhamma anatta. And in Dhampada also, Buddha says that sabbe sankhara anicca jadai paya epasati ath nibanditi dukhe samaggo visuddhiya, sabbe sankhara dukkhati jadai paya epasati ath nibanditi dukhe samaggo visuddhiya, sabbe dhamma anattati jadai paya epasati ath nibanditi dukhe samaggo visuddhiya. That whenever a person knows the nature of the reality, that all things are subject to impermanence, all things are subject to suffering, and all dhammas are subject to soulless, this is called as a visuddhi, a state of eternal bliss or nibbana. So whenever we say that sabbe sankhara anicca, all things are subject to impermanence, whatever the things which are appearing on the basis of the cause and conditions, they are also cessing also, they are going to destruct it. So all the thoughts, moments which are coming into existence, so this concept of khana in the teachings of the Buddha, anicca, dukkha, and anitta in the Nikaya literature, and later developed during the Buddha Ghosh era, concurring with these philosophical thoughts. So Acharya Buddha Ghosh was the first commentator who discussed all these one thought moment of consciousness when he is discussing in the Paṭiccasamuppāda in the chapter of the Vibhaṅga, his magnum opus work. So there are so many commentaries which are also available where there is interpretations of one thought moment. So conceptual shift from sutta understanding of anicca to the theory of moment shift in time scales. While the sutta interprets the three times as referring to past, future lives, Abhidhamma sees them as a phases of moment of conditions Dhamma. By the arising of literature, Visuddhimagga, and other Abhidhamma commentary philosophical understanding, that all sentient beings experience a particular kind of consciousness in every moment. And therefore, there are no moments without experiencing or the mental object arambana is established. It can be understood that before joining this online lectures, a person might be having in other thought of a moment. He might be in stress also, and whatever he is in happy mood also before joining this webinar. But when he has joined this online lecture series, previously he might have thought that what the professor is talking about the process of thought of moment of consciousness, and his thought becomes that it is not quite understandable to our mind. But after some time, he came to understand that, okay, he is able to understand in a very good manner. And then his thought also changes also. And whenever this lecture series is over, then he comes out from the online lecture series and he comes out, there is another thought of moment. So within a single moment, there are so many sub-moments also. There is a rising of the consciousness, there is a staying and there is a cessation also. So there are so many thoughts of moments which are occurring in our day-to-day life. So according to Abhidhamma, there are 89 or 121 types of consciousness which are happening in our day-to-day life. What we have discussed on the basis of Paṭiccasamuppāda, there are 4 courses of evidence and there are 9 ways of. So these are taking place altogether 144 within a single thought moment. That if you multiply with all 89 or 121 types of consciousness, it will become more than 12,000 thoughts, moments which are occurring in to a personality of a human being. Further milestone for the development of doctrine of Chittavritti, that is the process of consciousness, is the philosophical understanding of the differentiation between the material and immaterial phenomena of their relative lifespan and concept of material cluster that is enumerated in the Khaṇa. So this law of dependent originations is understood as a theory of momentariness. All the things which are happening in our day-to-day life, it is based upon the one thought moment. So it is very profound in its nature. It is not easily understandable by a common person. So when a person tries to analyze the teachings of the Buddha which are available in Abhidhamma, then he tries to analyze his mind also, that how the suffering arises, what are the causes of the arising of the suffering. And this in this way, he tries to analyze the teachings of the Abhidhamma, and then he applies and the all thoughts, moments which are happening in day-to-day life. Whenever how the thoughts are changing, how a person comes in the stress mood or in agony, or how a person comes in a state of happiness or in a mood of pleasant state. So it is how a person is understandable to arising or cessation of each thought moment. In that way, he tries to understand that how the suffering arises, and he tries to remove all these causes also. In this way, the Buddha has given a very important teachings related with law of dependent originations, and by understanding in a one thought moment of consciousness, he can purify his consciousness, he can remove the suffering which is arising, which is a social cause of the suffering of all the members, and all things which are happening in our day-to-day life. It is based upon the man, nature, and environment. Whatever the things which are happening, a man is dependent on the nature and the environment. Both these three are quite causally related with each other. Man cannot live without the nature and the environment, and environment, animal, plants cannot live without the man also. So both are dependent on each other. So different thinking over this, a person can try to understand the insight teachings of the law of dependent originations, how the things are causally related, how the man, nature, and environment are causally related with each other. By thinking, all can understand and he can get there. So I am very much thankful to organizing committee of our Lumini Buddhist University, especially Dean Dr. Manika Ratna Sakya and other faculty members giving to start this lecture series. So if any person who is interested to ask the question and any comment or suggestions is most welcome. Thank you. Over to our Dean Manika Ratna Sakya ji.
Yeah, thank you very much. If anybody have questions, you can put your question.
Hello, good morning, Vibhaṅga sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, Parindra ji.
Yes, I have no special question, but I would like to express my thankfulness for a very elaborative and very comprehensive discussion on this very profound topic of Abhidhamma. Actually, you explained that how the Paṭiccasamuppāda is explained in the Abhidhamma text. You explained it in detail, and I also got much more benefit from your presentation. Thank you for that presentation.
Thank you very much, Phanindra sir. I think there is no
Thank
questions.
you very much, sir.
There is no questions, so we are going to conclude today's program. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Bimlendra Kumar, for delivering insightful lecture highlighting different aspect of Abhidhamma, different aspect of Paṭiccasamuppāda. In Pali, it is called Paṭiccasamuppāda. He has said that one important thing, when we will be able to understand about the nature, we will be able to understand what is the impermanence. When impermanence will be understood, we will be able to free from different types of defilements. We will be free from suffering. We will be gradually far from suffering. So we need to understand what is the nature. This is very important lecture he has delivered, that had been delivered by Professor Dr. Bimlendra Kumar. Thank you very much for delivering wonderful lecture, insightful lecture. And also I would like to express my sincere thanks to all the listeners. And I also appreciate your valuable time for listening to this lecture. Once again, thank you very much. And I declare today's lecture is concluded. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to everyone. Thank you very much. See you again.
See you again.
The next, we are planning to continue this lecture twice in a month. So
Yes.
next lecture date will be announced by our L.B.U.
Yes.
website. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. See you again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.